Good evening. Thank you for joining us. So the Lakeland Rustlers soccer, their regular season is ending. Hey, Struck?
Yeah, it came to an end this afternoon. The women, their season is over. The guys, they still have a chance at the postseason. I'll have more for you coming up in sports.
Thank you. And Shauna, I can't complain about the weather. It was a bit chilly, but beautiful outside today. All the fall colors and everything.
Absolutely. I hope you don't complain because
I'm
it
not
was
complaining.
nice. That's good. It was a beautiful day to wear a nice thick sweater. That's what I say. But as we take a look now, and Lloydminster, we're sitting at 9 degrees. But however, you know, the winds were blowing this afternoon out of the northwest up to 31 kilometers per hour at times. And as we look across the Lakeland and Battleford, it's very clear skies and very seasonable temperatures. So with all this sunshine over the weekend, is it going to continue into next week? Stay tuned. I'll have your full weather forecast coming up a little later on.
Maidstone RCMP responded to a head-on collision Saturday morning around 7 on Highway 21 near the North Saskatchewan River. A southbound car had pulled into the opposite lane to pass another vehicle and hit a northbound pressure truck head-on. The crash killed the 23-year-old Alberta man driving the car. The driver of the pressure truck was also taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The investigation continues, but weather and alcohol do not appear to be a factor. It's a close-knit community with members stretching from BC to Manitoba. The 10th annual Alpaca show in Lloydminster brought in fleece from across the country, but as Lauren Pullen tells us, the big award winner came from right here in the prairies.
This wasn't your average dog and pony show. No, today on parade, alpacas.
I have the supreme female standing here. Her name is Willow. And Willow is a 14-month-old light fawn female, and she lives in North Battleford at Spellbound Alpacas.
Primping and priming doesn't make you a winner in this competition. Willow's luscious locks and finesse earned her top spot.
Put a halter on her. You make sure that her toenails are trimmed, and that's really about it. They're sort of show ready.
They're just cool. I love them.
For 12-year-old Kira Morozowski, alpacas have been a part of her life almost as far back as she can remember. She's been parading her pets for the past 4 years now at events just like today's 10th anniversary Lloydminster Alpaca Show.
It was really good. Everybody had some really good animals coming out. It was exciting to see the different competition, the different fleeces, the characteristics of the different animals. It was fun.
When it comes to judging, a clean coat is what they're after, with fleece the primary pull of the market. And sometimes a mustache doesn't hurt either. The Alpaca show season runs from September until May. Then their coats are sheared off and the possibilities are endless.
Alpaca fleeces can be used for everything from hats, socks, mitts, coats, garments to wear, duvets.
As for the big winner, Willow's next step, she's taking her award-winning coat to the Canadian National Select Show and Sale in Red Deer next spring. Lauren Pullen, Newcap News.
Treated to some belly laughs and great food, raising money and awareness for the Lloydminster Figure Skating Club annual Comedy Night fundraiser. Shauna Rashik has more on why events like this are so important for the club's survival in the community.
Garth, do you know how to do the bunny hop?
Taking part in any sport can be expensive, from registration fees to equipment and clothing. Raising funds to help give a child a chance to play a sport is how the Lloydminster Figure Skating Club is hoping to give kids that opportunity.
We're a small club, but we have a few hundred people here tonight who are more aware of the figure skating club than they might have been yesterday or last month.
A new addition for this year's entertainment is a ventriloquist. Originally from the area, now living in Vancouver, Damien James enjoys performing in front of a hometown crowd, understanding the importance of giving back to the community.
Just helping out fundraisers like this and coming and being, supportive of good, organizations that are trying to raise money for community projects. That's a big part of what I do, and I'm happy to do it.
This annual event is part of a few different fundraisers that will go towards operational costs for the club.
Just trying to keep the cost down so that skating's affordable to everybody. Ice is costly, and that's one of our main things that it does go towards, is just keeping our ice fees down.
Manish says the main objective for the club is working with other organizations to make figure skating affordable as possible.
We do work with kids sport as well to try and make sure that everybody has skates, proper equipment, stuff like that, especially in our can skate levels as well.
The crowd was not as big as organizers were hoping for, but Mutters says the support from the community made the event a success.
We have great donations from business people in town. We have great support from families that have come out to take in our show. We have great volunteers from our club that are helping out, so it's really been a positive.
Thanks again. You've been a wonderful audience. Hope to see you all again real soon.
Shauna Roshik, Newcap News.
We're going to take a short break from news right now. Aaron Streck joins us with some sports. You'll be talking about soccer, the regular season being over right now for those guys, yeah?
Yeah, for the Rustlers, the guys' soccer team didn't start off that great, but now they've come on of late and had even a chance to make the playoffs today. After starting the season 0-4, the Rustlers men's soccer program had gone undefeated in their last 5 matches, collecting 3 wins and a pair of ties. Now Lakeland needed a win this afternoon against the Rattlers to clinch a playoff spot. But the Rustlers were snake bitten by the Rattlers 2-1. They will now play the waiting game as most teams have another matchup next weekend. So there is still a chance the Rustlers will be in the postseason for the first time in team history, but we'll have to see. Lakeland finished the regular season 3-5-2. As for the ladies, playoffs were out of the question coming into their matchup with Medicine Hat today. But ending the season on a high note, well, that's what it was all about. The Rustlers did get a pair of goals, but it wasn't enough as the Rattlers doubled them up 4-2. Lakeland finishes the season 2-8-0.
It's better to have 2 wins than 2 more wins than we had last year, but it's a start. But it's not. I would say that the first half, yes, a success. Second half was disappointing. Okay.
All right, I feel like a broken record always talking about this, but after silencing the Thunder and picking up their 7th win in a row Friday night, the Bobcats were in Drayton Valley again last night, looking to extend their win streak to 8. Reed Johnson struck first for Drayton Valley, but Kyle Harris got the Cats on the board in the second with one of his 2 goals in the period. The Bobcats led 3-2 after 40 minutes. And they put the game away in the third with a couple more. 5-2 is your final. The Orange and Black extended their win streak to 8 games and improved to 10-3-0-1 on the year. Good enough for 3rd place in the North Division, 1 point back of the Ponce for 2nd. And speaking of Bonnyville, they hosted the Old Grizzlies last night at the RJ. Tommy Baraskis opened the scoring with back-to-back power play goals a minute and a half apart, then capped off the trifecta in the third. To put the Ponce up 6-2, Bonnyville held off Olds 7-3. The Pontiacs will now face the Cats, who are hot on their tail Tuesday night at the RJ. Moving on now to Junior B action from last night, and the Lloydminster Bandits needed double overtime to slip by Vegreville 5-4, and after dropping their season opener, the Bandits have won 3 straight. Elsewhere, the Vermilion Tigers blanked the Thorhill Titans 11-0. The Lloydminster Universal Heat have been blazing out of the gate, winning 4 of their first 5 games. The Heat continued their strong start yesterday with a 5-3 victory over the Medicine Hat Hockey Hounds. As for the Lloydminster AAA Baker Hughes Bobcats, coming off their first win of the season last Sunday, well, they dropped their 4th game of the year yesterday, 3-1 to the Knights of Columbus Pats. The Cats were in Leduc this afternoon looking to get back on track, but at this time I don't have a final to report to you.